Top 20 largest leviathans and creatures in Subnautica. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Factholic, and today we've got something special for you. As mentioned in the title, we'll be counting down the top 20 largest creatures and leviathans that appear in the fairly popular game Subnautica. Now, for those who have never played or maybe even heard of this game, Subnautica is a first-person video game set in the future on an aquatic, uncharted planet created and released by Unknown Worlds Entertainment that blends the traits of the survival and exploration genres. So let's cut the intro short and get ready to descend into the depths of an alien underwater world filled with resources, creatures, wonder, and threats. Now, before starting the countdown, players new to the game, let me warn you beforehand, because there are some unmarked spoilers ahead, specifically when we get closer to the top 5. With that clear, let's get right into it and start the countdown right away. Number 20. So at number 20 we have two creatures, and the first one is the cuddlefish, 1.3 meters. Originally meant to have the role of the crashfish, the cuddlefish is a friendly species of fauna that can only be obtained by hatching one of the 5 cuddlefish eggs hidden in various locations. Now the second creature at number 20 is the OCULUS, 1 to 1.3 meters. The OCULUS is a small turquoise-colored fish with purple on its back that looks very similar in appearance to the peeper, although around twice the size. It's a passive fauna species only found in the jelly shrimp cave. 19. We have two more creatures sharing the 19th spot in our list. The first one being the cave crawler, 1.5 meters. The cave crawler is an aggressive fauna species that can be found on the Aurora, in the underwater islands, on the mountain island, in the dunes, and around the Degassi sea base on the floating island. It somewhat resembles an arthropod and has a large glowing eye with a cyan sclera and a dark blue pupil, covering most of the top of its body. The second at number 19 is the GARRYFISH, 1.2 to 1.5 meters. Now, the name GARRYFISH might be a reference to SpongeBob's pet sea snail Gary, and its appearance only strengthens that speculation. A small passive fauna species, the GARRYFISH is usually found in the safe shallows and around the underwater islands. 18. So even in the 18th spot, we again have a couple of creatures. And first, let's take a look at the rabbit ray, 1.55 to 1.6 meters. Named after its two orange ears that make it resemble a rabbit, the rabbit ray is a passive fauna species which dwells mainly in the kelp forest and safe shallows, but can often be found in the crash zone. Moving on to the other creature, we have the lava larva, 1.4 to 1.6 meters. A grub-like species which appears to lack sight and smell, but is able to sense and drain thermal and electrical energy in its immediate environment. The lava larva is a mid-sized parasitic fauna species. Number 17. Blood crawler, 3 meters. An agile territorial scavenger that moves in packs across the seabed. Closely related to the amphibious cave crawler, but adapted to deep-sea conditions, the blood crawler is an aggressive fauna species mainly found in the blood kelp caves, although it can also be found in lesser numbers in the lower areas of the Lost Rivers Ghost Forest. Number 16. Jellyrays, 3.5 to 4.2 meters. Jellyrays are bottom dwellers, preferring to glide over the seabed. This suggests they're detritivores, surviving from organic waste that settles down on the seabed. Also, this passive fauna species lives primarily in the mushroom forest and deep Grand Reef. Number 15. Sand shark, 4 to 5 meters. A powerful, medium-sized predator that burrows into the sand and ambushes its prey from below, the sand shark is a fauna species dwelling mostly in the grassy plateaus, crash zone, and the dunes. They prefer to stay close to or beneath the seafloor and never wander near the surface. 14. We have two creatures taking this spot, with the first one being the STALKER, 5 to 7 meters. A rather large creature possessing an elongated, smooth body with smooth skin, the STALKER is an aggressive fauna species mostly found populating the kelp forest and occasionally the crash zone. One thing you'll notice right away is that its head features a long snout, which greatly resembles that of real-life gharials. Now, the other creature in the 14th spot is the lava lizard, 6 to 7 meters. A medium-sized predator adapted for life in volcanic regions and remarkably able to spit molten rocks at its foes, the lava lizard is an aggressive fauna species, dominating the areas of the inactive lava zone and the lava lakes, as well as inhabiting the lava castle's interior. 13. So even here we have two creatures sharing about the same size, and let's first take a look at the gasopod, 8 to 10 meters. A pinniped-like creature with a swollen, nearly spherical body that ends in a rotund tail, the gasopod is a fairly large, defensive, herbivorous fauna species. It can be found in the safe shallows, crash zone mesas, and the dunes vents, slowly cruising through the water. The other creature sharing the 13th spot is the CRABSQUID, 9 to 10 meters. Is it a crab or is it a squid? Well, it's neither, because it's actually a crab squid. The crab squid is a large aggressive fauna species which can be found in the northern blood kelp zone, the deep Grand Reef, and the Lost River. It's worth mentioning that the crab squid can deploy a powerful electromagnetic pulse to defend itself, much like the Mudos in Godzilla. 12. Taking the 12th spot, we've got two more fauna of about the same size, and the first one is the bone shark, 10 to 11 meters. A large and powerful predator that lives in small groups and fiercely defends its hunting grounds, the bone shark, as its name implies, is a large, shark-like, highly aggressive fauna species. Also, just like its name suggests, the creature is bony, sporting a body plated with a thick, hard segmented exoskeleton. Another alien-like fauna at number 12 is the crabsnake, also 10 to 11 meters. Having a long serpentine body with two long translucent fins running from the neck down the sides of its body to the end of the tail, the crabsnake is a large, aggressive fauna species found exclusively in the jelly shroom cave, where they reside in the jelly shrooms. 11. So at number 11 we have three fauna species, and the first one is the GHOSTRAY, 9 to 12 meters. The GHOSTRAY is very large and possesses a body structure similar to that of a real-life manta ray, although the passive fauna species that spawns in various areas around the Lost River is entirely translucent and emits a cyan bioluminescence, which actually makes it look pretty cool. Up next, we arrive at the crimson ray, 12 meters. The crimson ray is a large passive ray species and close relative of the GHOSTRAY. It lives exclusively in the inactive lava zone and lava lakes. Also, in terms of body shape and size, the crimson ray is identical to the GHOSTRAY. However, it has major differences in coloration. Now, the final creature at the 11th spot is the warper, also 12 meters. The warper, or the self-warping quarantine enforcer unit, as named by the precursors, is a biomechanical life form created by the precursor race, belonging to the other entities category. It can generate a teleportation gate, which it uses to warp itself and other life forms of its size or smaller at will. Number 10. AMPEEL, 12 to 13 meters. AMPEELs are huge serpentine creatures with a segmented body, covered by prongs capable of generating powerful zaps of bioelectricity. Originally called shockers, these electric eels from Subnautica are an aggressive fauna species found dwelling in the bulb zone and the blood kelp zone, as individuals or in small groups of 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5 if you're unlucky enough. Number 9. River Prowler, 12 to 14 meters. Another creature that's almost as large as a leviathan class, the river prowler is a large aggressive fauna species which dwells exclusively in the Lost River. The river prowler has a thin, elongated body with many protrusions coming from both the top and bottom, and a spine-like structure visible within its transparent body. Number 8. Sea Treader Leviathan, 20 meters. The smallest in the Leviathan class, the Sea Treader Leviathan, is definitely by no means a small creature. This defensive Leviathan class fauna can be found roaming in the Grand Reef as well as on the Sea Treader's path, forming small herds. The Sea Treader's feelers visually resemble those of real-life squids, and fun fact, the way these leviathans move in herds is actually similar to that of real-life elephants. Number 7. Reaper Leviathan, 55 meters. The third largest aggressive creature in the game and fifth largest living creature overall, the Reaper Leviathan is an aggressive Leviathan-class fauna species usually found swimming in large open areas, such as the dunes and mountains. Now, my first impression when I saw the creature was that it really resembled the kaiju from the Pacific Rim franchise. Well, at least its head does. Number 6. Reefback Leviathan, about 70 meters. The Reefback Leviathan is a passive Leviathan-class fauna species. It's the second largest passive life form, given that the Reefback is massive in size, with most of the creature's body being comprised of a thick, dark blue carapace with a rounded triangular front and a relatively small body concentrated in the posterior. Also attached to its main body are 3 long whip-like tentacles. Now, before revealing the next creature, players new to the game, let me warn you, there are spoilers ahead. All right, let's cross the warning signs and go ahead now. Number 5. Ancient Skeleton. Exposed skeleton about 95 meters, full size, indeterminate. Coming in at number 5 is actually a skeleton belonging to a presumably extinct Leviathan-class organism and is found outside the Lost River Laboratory Cache, surrounded by scanners and cables. The skeleton is the only one known to exist and is approximately 1 million years old. It appears to be some sort of huge carnivorous life form. Ghost Leviathan, 110 meters. The second largest aggressive creatures of Subnautica and the third largest creature in the game, the Ghost Leviathan is a Leviathan-class life form belonging to the fauna category. Now, you may be asking, how can it be the third largest creature in the game and still be in the 4th place? Well, you'll have the answer to that in a bit, so settle down, keep watching. Number 3. Sea Dragon Leviathan, 112 meters. So the first Leviathan in the top 3 is the Sea Dragon Leviathan, which is a colossal Leviathan-class fauna species. It's the largest aggressive creature of Subnautica, and in total there are 3 Sea Dragon Leviathans on the map, 2 in the inactive lava zone and 1 in the lava lakes. An interesting fact about the colossal creature is that it's possible that the appearance of the Sea Dragon Leviathan was inspired by this description of a creature called Leviathan in the Bible. Number 2. Sea Emperor Leviathan, 160 to 200 meters. The Sea Emperor Leviathan is the largest of the living Leviathan-class fauna in Subnautica. The Sea Emperor Leviathan is colossal, having a stocky, entirely armored body, and is predominantly pale brown in color with shades of green. Also, despite its gargantuan size, the Sea Emperor Leviathan's diet consists solely of microorganisms filtered from the water, much like real-life baleen whales. Okay, we've finally made it to the final spot. So, coming in at number 1 is the Gargantuan fossil, which is around 1,100 to 1,500 meters. Now, the Gargantuan fossil is an enormous and ancient fossil, approximately 3 million years old, found in the bone fields. The skeleton belonged to an eel-like Leviathan-class super predator, dwarfing both the Sea Dragon Leviathan and Sea Emperor Leviathan, despite only being around 1/3 of the whole skeleton. When this creature still roamed the planet, the sheer size of its body would have prevented it from living within the crater, as it's more than half the 2-kilometer diameter of the entire structure. So that was a blast. We hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to keep watching more videos like these, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, keep watching Factholic.